got our 2024 EcoBoost Mustang on the lift. We're going to be installing the RTR lip kit, so let's get started. Looks like we got a lot of 7mm screws to take off, so I'll get some tools to get started on that, and then we'll get back to it. Just as bad, right? So several screws later and a couple of pop inserts, and this piece is off. But you can see, if you remember what the 2015-2017 looks like, this is quite a better piece, more sealed off, a little sturdier, doesn't really bend. No stupid like plastic flat thing that you're going to break off on a curve. So nice to see some changes there. So of course we're going to try to do this the easy but probably hard way and not take the front bumper off. I think I can change this without removing the entire front bumper. So now we're going to work toward that. We have the under tray off completely, and we can see we got a few more screws, a couple more quick pops. So let's get the rest of these off and see if we can get this lip off and get this job done. We got each side, we got two of these quick pop whatever clips. Pop these guys off. So now in our journey to do this without removing the bumper, we're still working on it. We've taken the clips out, quick pops out. Now we've taken out 5, maybe 7 screws in here. Six screws we removed. Now, just like the 2015-2017, it's got these little guys here that pop in every so often. So I'm just working my way around and releasing these, and I think we'll have the lip off. Now, you're all gonna watch this and say, he's making that look easy, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, it is. I've messed with these guys a few times, so I kind of know how to make them do what I want. Cussing works a lot. Boom, rips off. So now we're going to start installing our new lip. We've taken these pieces off of the OEM lip that we removed. We're going to have to reinsert them in all these positions. You should have 6 of these. So put them in there. Be careful, they'll want to fall out. Many of ours fell out when we removed the lip. Some of them we had to work out. You always want to put the threads to the inside of the lip. So we got those guys. Let's try to get it reinstalled without those pieces falling out. Working our way around, trying to get it popped in everywhere. We can start putting our screws and our clips back in now. So we got the lip on now. It took us a little bit to get all these to snap back into place. We actually had to start reinstalling the bolts. The 7mm bolts to help pull everything up together. Then I had to kind of walk around and pull down on these little pieces to get them to snap back into place. But sure enough, we've got them all now. We're completely snapped in. So the last step is we're going to reinstall these guys, 2 in each corner. And then we'll go on to the RTR under tray piece and how we fit it to the EcoBoost. So now that we have our lip installed, all of our bolts tight and everything reinstalled under there, we've put the under tray, the OEM under tray piece back in, and now we're going to start putting all of these screws back into it. We'll get it back in place, then we'll get started on the under tray, the RTR under chin extension. I didn't realize that I had to start with this piece installed first, so this guy's going back on, then we'll get to the under chin extension. So we've got the under tray reinstalled, all 20, 30 screws. Quick pops. I think we're about ready to install the add-on piece now. So as we're figuring out, you should actually keep the main screws around the front uninstalled because they attach after the under chin extension goes on. So let's take these, 15 out again. So now we have the screws removed again from the main piece of the old, where the old lip went. So we gotta put the included clips around this under tray before we put it up in there. So we're just gonna snap all these into place, then we'll get it put up in there. Now we put this guy back in. Kind of started it in that corner. Snaps right into place real nice. So now I'll put the other side on, then we'll put these screws back in. When I said push clips, it's more like add a nut, I guess, clips. Now we'll get the supplied screws. We'll start getting everything buttoned up. So now we got all these started. Just started. We don't have them tight yet. I want to make sure I get all the screws around the perimeter and the pops in. Make sure we don't have anything in a bind before I lock everything down. So now I'm just going around and installing the silver screws in the bottom of the lip. Just a handful of those. And we'll about have the front end done. Be ready to move on to another piece. All right, guys, so we're wrapping this up right now, and the RTR website says that for an EcoBoost there may be some modification required, but we've not seen that yet. Everything's going together just as expected so far. So we figured out what was different, and it wasn't really a modification. It's just that where the EcoBoost don't use anything clipped on this, we don't have enough of these when we're done. Well, when we start popping these in, we're a few short. So we're going back and we're just going to go like every other one. And I think we'll be fine. In the meantime, we can maybe order some more of these from our Ford dealer so we can finish installing the rest of them. But yeah, it seems the piece this uses has more holes. Maybe that's a GT thing, and EcoBoost don't utilize those. So we got all these popped in, and I suggest you do this first before you start tightening things down. We had to loosen some things up and kind of tweak it, so I'll leave most things just kind of loose, get these popped in. Now let's go back and let's tighten everything up. So now we're pulling off the clips on the side skirts. In the instructions, it says to use a pry tool to pry these and remove them, and it's really specific in saying that they will not be reused and can be discarded. I think that's their nice way of saying you're going to break these when you pull them out. So guys, you're going to break these when you pull them out. But we don't have to use them again, so using my pry tool. I've already done 2 or 3 because it's kind of a pain, but that part's easy. Now we got to get the actual clip out, and I have found that if you take it, because it's a weird clip, it just kind of spins around, get it up here kind of where you think it should try to pop out, and just take a tool and whoop, out. That's the easiest way I've found. It's a really weird clip, and it wants to just kind of spin around in there instead of pulling out. So kind of turn it till you feel it get in a bind, then take the tool in the front and just. So now we've got our side skirt temporarily put on, just kind of held in place, and now we're drilling our pilot holes in the bottom of the side skirt so we can remove the side skirt, drill again so we can put the well nut that's provided from RTR in. Then we reinstall the side skirt, start all of our well nuts, and then put our the pop clips in this back part. I have actually went ahead and inserted one of the pop clips in the front just to help hold it up while I drill the rest of the holes. They're actually the same size holes. So I'll get done, I'll remove this, drill the well nuts, then we'll reinstall, put our bolts in to the well nuts, pop clips. Currently we're using a 17/64 drill bit to make our pilot holes. And it's real important that you make sure you put the pilot holes are going to be drilled at the circular spots in the bottom of the side skirt. So now we have our 31/64 drill bit, and we're going back over the pilot holes we drilled and making them larger. That way we can install the well nuts into the hole. So again, we've removed the RTR splitter now. We already drilled our pilot holes, and we're just making them bigger for the well nuts. Be careful, you don't want to drill all the way through both, and this large diameter, it wants to grab the bit a lot. So I've been trying to go really slow. See, yep, barely touched it when I went in. Reversed it a little bit there. Yeah, so I've been trying to go through and then reverse it and let it clean the hole that way and stuff, so it's not trying to pull me in more. Because last thing you want to do is drill through the top. Now we've got our holes drilled, going back and installing our well nuts. It's pretty tight fit with the 11/64. I feel like they probably should have told us to use a 1/2 inch, so keep that in mind. But they definitely do go in and they fit very snug. Again, we're doing this on jack stands, so we have plenty of access to the side skirt. You know, if we were on the lift or 2-pole lift at least, the lift arms are all in our way right now. We really couldn't get in here like we need to. So if you have a 4-post, you could probably still do this, no problem. We do not. So I'm kind of pushing, twisting. In between that, they'll go on in. All right, now we're ready to reinstall the side skirt, start our bolts, and put our push clips in. So now we got the side skirt back on. We're installing the supplied 10mm bolts, 10mm socket. Well, I say M6 fasteners, 10mm bolt or socket. We're not going to get these all the way tight. We're just going to get them started well, and then we will put the push clips in, and we'll get a torque wrench. And RTR recommends we torque these to 10 inch-pounds. Now we've got all of our bolts started. We're going to put our push clips in. Then we'll come back and torque everything to spec. So lastly, we're going to tighten up these well nuts. I tried using a torque wrench, guys. They say 10 inch-pounds. That's so little, and these well nuts feel so weird tightening up. I don't know that it's going to work. So I think just use your best judgment. They don't have to be stupid tight. These are well nuts. They can take a lot of vibration. So just use your best judgment to tighten them up. Next, we're going to install the RTR quarter splitters. It's pretty easy install. All we have to do is remove these 2 quick clips, then drill a hole for a new one right here. It'd be a good idea to give everything a good wiping while you're under here. Now we'll install our RTR quarter splitter. We need to be sure when we install this to make sure we get this piece to cup and around the lip of the OEM piece. If you don't get that, there's nothing to hold it on up here at front. So we'll start with that, then we'll put our quick clips back. So you can see I can't pull it down. So that means I'm on there good. Can't pull it down, so we've got that lip clipped in there. So we'll just pop these guys back in. Now we'll get a drill. We'll use this hole as a guide and get our last quick clip put in. So we have our drill ready. This is a 1/4 inch drill, so we can drill right here using the RTR piece as our guide hole. Take one of these clips that RTR provides, wipe away any debris. Push this guy up and in. There we go. Now we just have to repeat the process for the other side.